Guys, welcome back to Six Cars. It's another kind of chilly morning, to be honest, in Miami. It's not very warm, but we have another cool stop to make. We're here at RMC Miami. Bit of a different take from Curated and Prestige. This one specializes in really sick imported modified cars, but it's going to be so cool. I can't wait to open those doors and show you guys what they have to offer. If you're not already, if you didn't subscribe from the last video, make sure you hit that big red button. It takes 2 seconds. It really helps, guys. Let's flip the camera around and jump into RMC Miami, and then we'll head out for the rest of the day. So as soon as we walk in the door here, I will show you guys back the full shop in a second, but I did want to point out this Renault 5 here. It's so damn cool. One of the coolest, most iconic rally cars of all time, right around the Group B era too. So the Renault 5 Maxi Turbo, very famous. They also race these in touring car and I think GT as well. I think in North America, this might have been what was called Le Car. So, but a very cool design. Obviously, it was like a mid-engine or rear-engined hatchback. So sick. Absolutely incredible little car. And we do have a nice clean R32 GTR over there as well with a completely redone engine. I think it's putting out a ton of power. You can already see the Blitz rad in the front. Just a giant HKS turbo kit over there too. The Project Mu brakes. Tons of cool stuff going on. But yeah, I think we'll flip the camera around and head straight in to RMC Miami. Check out the collection. There we go, guys. We have a Trial Sports NSX Type-R. Now, this car is pretty damn famous because it did run at the Attack Tsukuba back in the day, but as you can see, yes, right-hand drive, it's a genuine Type-R, but a ton of aero work done to it, a ton of work done in the engine as well, which I'll get to in a second, but the car itself with the body kit does look fantastic. It's a very old school JDM look. The shop is incredibly famous, but all of the aero and the additional vents and everything fully functional, so that's really cool to see. But this was really a Toyota test car for a while before Trial Sports did some work to it and really brought it out to its full potential. But yes, there is a ton of work done to the engine. There's almost a tiny little NSX RGT style intake over the mid-engine power plant as well. We've got a nice carbon fiber GT wing and almost like a carbon fiber Kevlar looking diffuser, which is really cool. You can actually see the exhaust is going straight through the mesh cutout, which looks fantastic. We're on the Volk Racing CE28s too, but really just a JDM legend. That is very, very cool to see that. We do flip around. There is an RWB back there as well, but the shop is absolutely filled with cool cars, which we will do a short little walkthrough and see everything in detail in a second. But just before we do that, we'll flip around here. We do have a midnight purple R33 GTR there. This one does look like a 500E, which if that is, it's one of the cars that AMG built in collaboration with Porsche, I believe it was. So very, very cool car. Underrated because a lot of people talk about the 190E Evo 2 for good reason. That is a great car, but that is still a very cool niche car as well. Got a wide body 240Z up there. Do have a Toyota Soarer there as well, and a slant nose 930 Cabrio in a dark purple, which is absolutely sick. Well, let's see if we can flip around to the back of that too, but for now I think we'll just start with the showroom here. Oh, and there is a Callaway C4 there as well. But let's jump into these Porsches and then we'll see some of the JDM legends that are in the back there too. So we'll start off here at RMC Miami. Obviously very cool row of Porsches. I do believe this is a custom slant nose they have here. If you've seen the old and new kit that RWB has offered, it's very much similar to what this has here. So obviously paying homage to old slant nose race cars from the 935, but incredible looking car. A very clean looking example back here as well. Do love the white 6-spokes. I'm not certain, it looks like TE37s on it, but very good looking. This one back here is another slant nose. I do believe under the hood, or the trunk in this case, there is a roof BTR engine in it, which is absolutely remarkable. So clearly, obviously putting out a ton of power from this car, but a great little design to it as well. Very historic style with classic Porsche race cars. Another clean R32 back here. Doesn't look like there's too much done to the exterior, just some wheels and some Brid Lomax seats, but I can't imagine There probably is a bit of work done to the engine as well, so probably putting out some good power from that. You can see just up on the lift there, that is a 1 of 15 Strosek. I think it's a 993 Speedster, so incredibly rare car. We did see a couple Stroseks back in Japan at the Daikaku meets, but seeing one stateside is pretty remarkable. There's a Mark IV Supra down there as well. Nice 240Z up on the lift. It's just keeps going and going. There's so many cool cars here, and I'm going to shift over to the other side. You guys can already see the Koenig Specials Testarossa there, and the RWB, and obviously some JDM legends there too we're going to check out. We do have a CLK 63 Black Series here before we go to the JDM stuff. This one is modified. I do believe it's putting out about 800 horsepower. There's a drag pack in there as well. There is a custom roll cage. It's a little hard to see. The windows are tinted, but it's basically they've turned this rare Black Series into a race car. There's a little bit of a wing back there too, which is pretty damn cool. We have an AS Auto RX-7 here, which looks absolutely remarkable. The paint is in immaculate condition. They've just rebuilt the transmission on this, so everything is running absolutely mint. It's putting out just under 500 horsepower, I believe, and the kit obviously very good looking, carbon fiber all at the front and down at the sides as well. But yes, one of the more famed RX-7 tuners, AS Auto, so obviously they've done a great job, and it's a very fast car. It has a purpose, and that is time attack, so you can imagine it's pretty damn good on the track. We have a nice NSX over here as well on BBS. It's a pretty sinister looking car. It's obviously a Japanese import. It is right-hand drive, but black on the black BBSs just looks so cool. That is a very mean looking NSX against the red Recaros too. Pretty iconic look, very similar to if you would buy a Type R. You have another FD over here as well, all white. This one does look like it has Desmond Regamaster wheels on it, and obviously you have to paint those in white if you get Regas, and that matches really nicely against the white exterior. This one is a JDM import as well. It is right-hand drive, nice little fixed wing on the back. The Supra though, my goodness, this is a very cool looking car. If I'm not mistaken, it is a Veilside car, so very desirable, very rare here stateside, but one of the better known tuners. I think even if you're not into JDM too much, you've definitely at least heard of Veilside. They do a lot of crazy things to their cars. Usually they honestly change the entire look. It's pretty hard to recognize the base car, but the Supras they've done a fantastic job on. It's still very clearly a Mark IV, but as you can see, a ton of work down there. You can see those massive twin turbos there. You can see where Veilside has done some work to it as well. So probably putting out a ridiculous amount of power. I won't even guess because it's probably a lot. Let's just leave it at that. Does look like we have a 560 SEC back there, or it might not be, but it at least looks very similar, but very good looking classic Mercedes. A nice R33 GTR back there, which is sort of in like LM Limited blue. I don't think it's in original LM Limited. It might be. Can't really see the backside or anything like that, but the color is very cool. I can't really get too close to this car back here, but the R32, as you can see with that massive wing and the huge over fenders, is clearly not stock. It is an original factory JGTC kit. So JGTC, obviously the original Super GT series from Japan. I didn't even know that you could get that kit from the factory to put on a road car, so that's pretty crazy. There can only be a small handful of those in existence, so very cool to see that. But as I come back around here, as I'll flip around, there is a Koenig Specials Ferrari Testarossa, one of the OG supercar tuners. Incredibly cool to see that, and very, very rare on this side of the continent, or this side of the planet as well. And of course, we have a nice 993 Silver RWB. This one is the Heavenly kit, so it is a bit wider than normal, and you can see if I go down to ground level, just how far out that rear fender sticks out. It's almost touching the Koenig Specials Testarossa, but you can also get a good look at that Testarossa as well, see just how flared the sides are compared to a stock Testarossa. Again, this is sort of like the OG wide-body supercar tuner. Way before Liberty Walk was even an afterthought, Koenig Specials were cutting up supercars and doing some crazy things to them, so very cool to see that. Beside sort of the new flair in supercar modifying with RWB, but my goodness, so many cool cars here, guys. This is definitely a place we had to stop in while we were in Miami, and I'm very glad we did it because this collection is absolutely insane. We didn't even point out the 180SX up there as well, and the TE37 is looking absolutely fantastic. Giant rear wing on the back of it, probably a ton of modifications done to that too, so very cool to see that. But yeah, you guys can sort of take your pick what your favorite car is. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff to choose from. You can get a better look at the back of the CLK Black Series there as well, and see that little additional wing. You can see the back of the FD as well, with they've changed the rear taillights. Very cool looking design though, massive rear diffuser on that too. But yeah, again, I could ramble in here forever because this is just honestly so damn cool. But yeah, let me know what your favorite car is here from RMC Miami before we head out to our next stop for the day. Okay guys, we have made our way to Palm Beach, the main attraction, I would say, of the trip. It's not Cavallino just yet, but I am walking towards a crazy leap that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. So here's the first spot I was talking about, guys. We have an SP3 Daytona finished in green with goldish bronze accents. Very, very cool spec. That's all I can say. Now that we've seen like the F80 come out, which is apparently the true successor to the LaFerrari, I still think the SP3 is the real successor. This is such a cool looking car, and what an unbelievable spec. You want to talk about like one of one cars, this one definitely fits the bill, and you can see the body lines of this car are just so striking. I absolutely love it. It's just such a good flow to it. There's design elements from different classic Ferraris. There's a bit of modernity to it as well. The slitted back end is probably my favorite part. I do love this rear bumper. Looks fantastic. But the green and the gold, you might not think would really pop or work very well together, but it does. It absolutely does. It looks fantastic here underneath the palm trees in Palm Beach. This is such a good find for our start to Cavallino weekend. And normally I don't think we'd probably stop for an SF90, but this is kind of cool. It looks like a tailor-made spec. It's Rosso Dino, which, yeah, it's technically classified as red, but it's really orange as you can see, but it does have like a cool little white stripe and a carbon fiber wing. Yeah, and there it is from the front. As you can see, the white stripe covering the entirety of the car. You have like a interesting little yellow accent at the front too, which does match the yellow brake calipers, and it has the Assetto Fiorano package, carbon fiber wheels. Again, I'm not like super big on the SF90, but this spec is really cool, and actually it's kind of helped me change my mind a little bit. That's a nice looking car. Great spec. Shouts out to the owner, did a great job with this one. And hey, it is 1,000 horsepower supercar, so it is pretty cool. And a short walk away from the SP3. There we go, guys. You've seen these cars before, but always nice to see them again in a different state. We've got the Chiron Super Sport again, the final one from factory, and a very nice, like, I almost want to call it like double blue with the light French racing blue against the dark blue carbon fiber. Of course, the entire interior finished in that French racing blue. Looks so damn good, and this is nicknamed the Chiron Super Sport Extreme. Very good looking. And of course, we all recognize King Tasma, the dark red carbon fiber RWBs. So always good to run into friends of the channel once again. We've seen these cars in multiple different states, but always cool to see them once again. There we go, the Leap's alive, guys. Got the white 16M and a 918. Okay guys, we have made our way into the parking lot here at the Breakers, and I am looking away from the camera because, as you'll see in a second, there goes the new 12 Cylindri. So we've already got some cars under bags here. We're gonna have a quick walk around. This parking lot's gonna be very, very full tomorrow morning for the big event, but we'll have a look around for starters and see what's already here. And here we go, guys, prepping for the big show tomorrow in Cavallino. A lot of the cars are still under bags, as you can see, so this is just going to get more and more stacked as the evening goes on and the morning kicks in. But look at that silver Enzo, you can already see under the bag. Got the classic red one here. We've got a yellow LaFerrari, which is always nice to see. I see an F40 down there, 288 GTO. We have an F50, a couple of Porsches sneaking in there as well. There's another F40 there, and as Roy has already spotted himself here, we do have the new 12 Cylindri, so the open top version and the hard top version over here, which doesn't have a car beside it. So I'll show off this one a little bit more in detail. We did see this back at Monterey Car Week, but very, very good looking. I think it's sort of a bit divisive, I think, this design, but I think it looks fantastic. It's a long body GT Grand Tour V12 Ferrari, very reminiscent obviously of the Ferrari Daytona from the late 60s and early 70s, but I think it's a great looking car, and I particularly love this nice fastback styling here. I think it really suits the car. It's got a very classic looking Ferrari style to it, and the extra long hood to fit that V12 obviously is quite nice. But maybe you guys can let me know in the comments what you think of the new 12 Cylindri, if you prefer it over the F12 and the 812, or if you still prefer the classics. I did point out earlier a couple Porsches sneaking in to the massive Ferrari parking lot here, and two very good ones, that 997.2 GT3 RS and the very rare Widowmaker, the 997 GT2 RS. I think it's 500 was the production total, and they all have the carbon fiber hood. Usually I'm not too big on that. I much rather prefer just body colored hoods, but I think on this car it actually suits it really well, and it does look very good. But a crazy car, one of the best 911s hands down, and of course the 997.2 GT3 RS. Always good to see those. We got a Daytona Spider. The SP3 has made its way over here. Nice, spotted too. We did see one of them back at Curated, so nice to see another one. I'm not sure if it's the exact same one, but still kind of cool to see it out in the limelight here. And there's even more cars back here. You can see another Enzo there. There's that 288 GTO, the F40. It does look like we have a 250 GT short wheelbase here too, so one of the coolest classic Ferrari race cars, and one of the best looking too. My goodness, that is just such a beautiful looking car. Absolutely fantastic. Have a look at this. It's under a bag, so we'll have to get a better look at this tomorrow. But that looks like a brown SP1 Monza. Wow. You want to talk about interesting specs? That one's pretty damn cool. I've never seen a brown Monza. It's pretty rare to see a brown Ferrari of any kind, let alone something as special as an SP1. So very cool. I'll have to get a look at that when the bag comes off later this weekend. We've got the black and the yellow stripes stretching across the hood there too. And as you can see, there's just more cars in bags here. That looks like a 430 Scuderia over there. I do believe that might be like a 330 GTC, but there is a 275 GTB4 there. Very cool looking car. My goodness, it just goes on and on and on. Never ever ends here, and it's only just getting started at Cavallino weekend. And then just at the end here, a very cool looking 458 Speciale Aperta. Extremely rare car, actually. Hardly ever sees around. I think there might only be 458, but very good looking spec on that. And behind us there are two more F40s. We're almost getting a little desensitized. I'll never change my mind though. Best Ferrari ever built. I don't care how many of these I see or how many I see in red. This will always be the best for me. So two of them sitting side by side. Very, very nice to see. But pretty damn good start to Cavallino. And like I said, this is only going to fill up even more as the weekend goes on. And we have stumbled upon the yellow LaFerrari again, which is pulling away in electric mode at the moment, just off site from the breakers. And there is an Enzo over there too.